This Monday Night Raw is absolutely insane.
JRW live. Hit the aisle, stack the card, chase that rare one, play it smart. Bobby Joe right by his side. JRW live ride. JRW live, let's go. Toy hunting shows on the road, figure reviews, bold predictions too. WW week breaking it through.
What's up, JRW? Today with the weekly set review of Monday Night Raw. They kicked off the show with the bloodline coming down to the ring, and Roman Reigns has everybody acknowledge him. And then he says, Jey Uso, the man that's moving on to the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament. You already know he's going to win that. Everybody acknowledged Jey Uso. And some people were booing, some people were putting up the ones, because I really do not want to see Jey Uso moving on in the King of the Ring tournament. I did not do a set review of SmackDown, but I'm absolutely pissed about this. It should have been LA Knight or Finn Balor or Royce Keys, anybody but Jey Uso. But then Roman Reigns tells Jacob Fatu to acknowledge Jey Uso, and Jacob Fatu's go, hell nah, I ain't acknowledging that punk ass. I only acknowledge you, Roman Reigns, my tribal chief. And Roman Reigns then yells at somebody by the commentator tables to give him something, and he pulls out this brown-looking Ulafala and puts it over the shoulders of Jacob Fatu, giving him his own Ulafala pretty much. And the Usos are in the corner of the ring. They're pissed off. Roman Reigns puts up the one. Jacob Fatu instantly puts up the one, and the Usos are hesitant. But instantly, Jimmy Uso does it. But Jey Uso is very hesitant, and then he does it. Then while walking backstage, they're heading towards the ramp. Actor-comedian Eric Andre touches Jacob Fatu's Ulafala, and Jacob Fatu pulls him over the barricade, brings him in the ring, and starts beating the holy hell out of him. Hits a Samoan splash. Oh, actually, he doesn't hit the Samoan splash yet. And then Roman Reigns gets on the rope, and he does like the finger to the neck, like kill him. He does it, and then Roman tells him to do it again, and he hits two giant Samoan splashes onto Eric Andre for absolutely no reason, absolutely murders him, and the Bloodline just absolutely dominates this celebrity comedian for no reason. Then it was Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez in the semifinals for the Queen of the Ring tournament, and this was not a half too bad match. I honestly thought Raquel Rodriguez was going to win this match, so we were going to get Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez in the finals. But we're going to get Io Sky in the finals because Io Sky hits that crazy moonsault on Raquel Rodriguez. 1, 2, 3. Io Sky picks up the victory. Now it's down to, I believe, Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair, and whoever wins that goes on to the finals to face Io Sky for the Queen of the Ring tournament. And I definitely think Liv Morgan's going to win the whole thing. But overall, not too bad of a match, but I really thought we were going to see Raquel win this match. Then backstage, Roman Reigns tells Jacob Fatu to handle the LA Knight problem. And James was like, whoa, man. That's my problem. I'll deal with them. And Roman's like, no, you're done enough. And then Jimmy's like, I got this. I'll go talk to him. He goes out to the ring to talk to LA Knight. And LA Knight is like, how am I supposed to trust you? I lost that match fair and square because of Solo Sikoa. Because originally Jimmy was trying to say he lost fair and square. He's like, whoa. I remember getting spiked by Solo Sikoa. How am I supposed to know you're not working with Solo Sikoa? And Jimmy is like, we are not working with him. And LA Knight, so he's like, all right, so if I go beat up his punk ass, you guys aren't going to jump me. Jimmy's like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Then Jey Uso's music hits. He comes down to the ring. And Jey tells LA Knight to acknowledge him. And LA Knight says, I acknowledge you to go screw yourself or something like that. Jay's pissed. He attacks LA Knight. They start beating the holy hell out of each other. Jimmy gets a chair to attack LA Knight, but it ends up backfiring. LA Knight starts beating up both of the Usos with the steel chair. Then here comes Jacob Fatu saving things with the Tongan death grip onto LA Knight, and he absolutely murders LA Knight, putting him to sleep with the Tongan death grip. Backstage, the Usos are like, what the hell? We had that handled. And Roman Reigns then talks to Jacob Fatu. He goes, did you handle LA Knight? And Jacob Fatu's like, yes. And he's like, well done. Jacob Fatu's like, the twins aren't very happy about it. And Roman Reigns, he goes, it's not my problem. He goes, they don't understand you, but I understand you. And then Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns have a nice little handshake moment. So it looks like Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns are starting to really click and bond together, while the twins, the Usos, are not so happy with this. Then backstage, Danhausen had a visitor to his lair. While he's working, Liv Morgan comes in there and tried showing off her body and everything to Danhausen. He was unfazed. He was too busy working hard. And then he found his bottle of teeth. He was very happy about that, but she was trying to convince him to curse Oba Femi to help out Dirty Dom later in the show in that King of the Ring tournament match. And Danhausen was unfazed. And he's like, well, I'll do that if you pay me a bunch of human dollars, have me in your music video and all these other things. And Liv Morgan's like, I'm done with this. And she walks out. But Danhausen, just how oblivious he is pretty funny. But he was working real hard in his lair, and he was so excited for those teeth. Then Chad Gable went one-on-one with Rusev in a match with Ethan Page on ringside. Ethan Page tried getting involved, but Chad Gable took him out. Then Rusev almost picked up the victory because of that, but then Chad Gable got the ankle lock, the Kurt Angle ankle lock, and made Rusev tap out. And then instantly Ethan Page jumps Chad Gable, starts beating him up, and here comes Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee to save Chad Gable once again. Well, actually, last week Chad Gable saved them, so this week they return the favor, save them, they run off Ethan Page and Rusev, and it looks like Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Chad Gable are all friends and working together. Also, Def Rebel made a new song for Chad Gable, and it's absolutely horrendous. Then Charlotte Flair went one-on-one with Roxanne Perez, with Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan on ringside. Liv Morgan tried getting involved in this match, and Alexa Bliss took out Liv Morgan. And then Charlotte Flair ended up picking up the victory over Roxanne Perez because Liv Morgan couldn't cheat for Roxanne Perez, so Charlotte Flair picks up the victory. And then I believe on SmackDown, it's going to be Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan in the semifinals, moving on to the finals match for the Queen of the Ring tournament. They announced for Night of Champions, it's going to be Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins in a steel cage match. Hopefully this is the finale for this Vision thing. I have a feeling it's not, even though it's in a steel cage match. You can't get much better than that. I really hope this is a good match, though. I'm very excited now that they're doing a steel cage match. Then Javon Evans was getting interviewed about him being in the King of the Ring tournament semifinals and how this big of a match it's going to be for Jey Uso. And then Javon had a message, I can't even speak, guys, to Jey Uso saying how he's going to take him out, and everybody's going to be saying one word, that boy is bouncy. Which isn't one word. I was like, whatever. But then Logan Paul's music hits. Logan Paul is back. And Logan Paul just recently tore his tricep a couple weeks ago. Already had surgery. He comes out with a brace with Austin Theory. And Logan Paul starts giving Javon Evans his flowers. He's like, I'm here to ask you to join the Vision. And Javon Evans is like, oh, hell no, I'm not joining the Vision. And Logan Paul is like, oh, wait, I messed up. That wasn't an ask. That was a statement. That was, you have to join the Vision. And Javon takes his pants off. He's like, got his wrestling gear on. He's like, I don't care. Let's go one-on-one. So Javon Evans and Austin Theory started having a match. The crowd was chanting fire Logan Paul. Shocker. But I love to see Logan Paul back. There's no point of him being off TV because he's so good on the mic. He totally can be something just on the mic while he's injured. But this match was going great. Javon Evans went for an OG cutter off the top rope when he was caught mid-air with a spear by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker spears him mid-air. And they start beating the holy hell out of Javon Evans when the Street Profits music hits. And Angelo Dawkins is back. We haven't seen him in a couple weeks since the Vision jumped them. And Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins beat up Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, throw him out of the ring. Logan Paul is pissed off. He's just running around because he can't get beat up right now because he's got that messed up arm. But he goes over to check on Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, and the Street Profits stand tall. And next week on Monday Night Raw, it's going to be the Street Profits taking on Braun Breaker and Austin Theory for the tag team titles. Also next week on Monday Night Raw in London, it's going to be Paige and Brie Bella defending their women's tag titles against Bayley and Lila Valkyria. And then in the main event, it was the King of the Ring men's, King of the Ring, obviously, semifinals. It was Oba Femi versus Dirty Dom. And this whole match, Dirty Dom was running around, terrified of Oba Femi. He was throwing around all over the place outside of the ring, throwing him over the barricade, taking out Jay McDonough as well. Gets him in the ring. Dirty Dom hits a low blow when the ref wasn't looking. He 619 him in the gut, then 619 him in the head, and then hits a frog splash. And it's only for a count of one. And then Oba Femi gets up, throws Dom in the air, picks him up, powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi destroys Dirty Dom. And then he grabs the mic. And he says how he's going to go and become the King of the Ring. The ruler, it will be the King of the Ring. He's going on to win it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and also he goes, I'm coming for Brock Lesnar, which I'm very surprised you didn't show up tonight trying to take me out. He goes, I'm just waiting for you to show up again. And he goes, when you do, I'm going to destroy you, Brock Lesnar. And then he hits his pose. So clearly, Oba Femi's calling out Brock Lesnar. I got a feeling he's going to cost him the King of the Ring tournament, which is so bullshit. Because I got a feeling it's going to be Oba Femi versus Jey Uso in the finals. And we need Oba Femi to save us. Because the last thing I want is Jey Uso win the finals of the King of the Ring tournament and become King of the Ring. That will be so bad. Jey Uso should have lost the freaking first match, but this is so bullshit that we have to deal with Jey Uso potentially winning the King of the Ring tournament. Please, Oba Femi, save us. So there you go, guys. That was the setup review of this Monday Night Raw. This Monday Night Raw was a banger. Like, we really hardly had any promos. I feel like we had a lot of wrestling. This show kept me very entertaining. I feel like this was one of the best Monday Night Raws in a while. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I got, honestly, a 4.25 out of 5. So 4.25 out of 5 for my review on this, not SmackDown, Raw. SmackDown's terrible right now, but this Monday Night Raw was cooking, and last week's Raw was pretty good as well, but this was definitely better. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell because we post every single day on this YouTube channel here at JRB Live. You don't want to miss out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.